The protest launched by Nepal Bar Association seeking the resignation of Chief Justice CJ Rana has continued for the second day as well. We have our correspondent Amar Singh Pradhan reporting live from the Supreme Court premises. Amar, what update do you have for us?
Yes, Sarah, it's quite a warm November morning, but the atmosphere and the ambience is quite heated up by this protest program launched by Nepal Bar Association and Justices against Chief Justice CJ Rana demanding his resignation. We again had this round of fresh protest program this morning from 10 to 11 a.m. where the justices and the legal practitioners associated with Nepal Bar Association, they put this black armbands around and protested against Chief Justice Rana, calling for his immediate resignation from his post. And this is in continuation of what had happened yesterday also. Like yesterday also, the justices had put this black armbands protesting against Chief Justice CJ Rana. And we understand that today is the fourth day of the 5-day ultimatum given by Nepal Bar Association for Chief Justice Rana to resign. And tomorrow's they are going to have this sit-in program for the whole day outside the Supreme Court premises. And Nepal Bar Association has reached this mindset where they understand that Chief Justice Rana should resign by Wednesday morning. And if he doesn't resign by Wednesday morning, there will be going to be fresh protest programs, and the protest programs will include steps as severe as not allowing Chief Justice Rana to enter the court premises. So that means that there is some very pressing and troubling time ahead of Chief Justice Rana. And if you ask me about today's development, like Chief Justice Rana, like yesterday he had agreed not to set any bench, not to hear any cases, but he has reportedly set this case of habeas corpus for today. And the justices, they are having a discussion, they are having a meeting regarding whether to allow Chief Justice Rana to sit in this case of habeas corpus or not. Over to you, Sarah.
Do you think Chief Justice CJ Rana will give way to all the pressure and resign, Amar?
That's a very tricky question actually, Sarah, at this point of time, because there is a statement in English that says hard attitude hardly goes, and Chief Justice Rana is somebody who possesses this hard attitude, unrelenting attitude. He is not known to be somebody who will buckle down to pressure. And yesterday, there was some very interesting development yesterday actually, and Justice Manoj Sharma, who is known to be very close to Chief Justice Rana, he had entered the meeting of the justices and given this proposal of Chief Justice for this graceful exit. And if you ask me what this graceful exit is, actually Chief Justice Rana himself is in the best position to describe what this graceful exit is. And I had this short conversation with senior advocate Sambhu Thapa this morning, and he made it loud and clear that we are not going to organize any kind of a farewell ceremony for Chief Justice CJ Rana. And actually, like yesterday, the justices during the meeting, they were actually quite stunned by this proposal sent by Chief Justice. And they had immediately formed this 3-member committee comprising Justice Manoj Sharma himself and Justices Sapna Pradhan Malla and Anil Kumar Sinha. And this meeting, this 3-member committee reportedly met with Chief Justice Rana, and they requested Rana to resign without further delay. And this meeting was actually, it had broken a week-long hiatus between Chief Justice and other justices. So given this scenario, it seems like there is troubling days ahead for Chief Justice Rana. And Nepal Bar Association, if you ask me, this is a very powerful organization which had played an instrumental role in the political upheaval in the country a number of times, and its request, its demand cannot just be ignored. Over to you, Sarah.
A lot has been speculated of the continued silence of political parties in the entire affair afflicting the country's judiciary. What's your take on this, Amar?
Yes, sir. There has been a very conspicuous or a very visible silence on behalf of the political parties in Nepal, especially the ruling alliance, Nepali Congress, Maoist Center, CPN, Unified Socialist. Okay, all these political parties have been very visibly, they have remained silent over this burning issue of the country at the moment. And the only political parties that has raised its voice is, as we know, the opposition, the main opposition, CPN UML, which had reportedly raised its voice against this present scenario. And last week, our viewer also saw the former Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli also demanding the resignation of the justices who had issued this mandamus that actually paved way for the appointment of the present Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Deuba. And like yesterday's development was that the Vice Chairman of CPN UML, Bhim Rawal, he demanded some kind of comment, some kind of clarification from the ruling alliance regarding their silence. Okay, so Bhim Rawal has also demanded this opinion of the ruling alliance regarding this present stalemate. And if you ask me, like this present quagmire the country is presently suffering from, like this is just the tip of the iceberg, and we will have to delve into recent past or little past. Like by recent past I mean the Supreme Court actually overruling the former government's decision of dissolving the parliament on 2 occasions. That is what I mean by recent past, and some little distant past I mean there has been some very controversial verdicts given by the Supreme Court, that is pertaining to the verdict given by Chief Justice CJ Rana, like the case of DIG Ranjan Koirala. Okay, like that was very infamous case. So this is just the tip of the iceberg, and the present scenario, this is going to be, the outcome of this present scenario is going to have a telling impact upon the decision taken by executive, legislative and judiciary in the coming days ahead. Over to you, Sarah.
Thank you, Amar, for all the live updates. That was our correspondent, Amar Singh Pradhan, reporting live from Supreme Court premises.